Welcome to Coach Jeff Grimes. We're excited to have you. I guess the first question, what attracted you to come to Wisconsin?
I guess just the history, the tradition of this place, and it being a place that I think kind of fits me and what I've always believed in terms of football. Coach Fickle, who I didn't know prior to this time, made a strong appeal to who I am as a coach and what's going on here and the direction that the program is headed. And so I think it was, I guess, sort of a confluence of those two things, the history and the past and the tradition and just sort of the blue collar, gritty attitude that's made Wisconsin football what it is, combined with Luke and his personality and his vision for making the program even more of that.
So what was that first conversation like with Luke?
Interesting, because if you're in this business, you know of people often, even if you don't know them. We talked a little bit, and as we got to know each other a little bit, I think we both realized before long that it seemed like we aligned philosophically in terms of the game. But one thing I really appreciated, any conversation like that, there's the mandatory small talk up front, right? Hey, I don't know you, you know me, you know this guy. And then there was a brief pause. And then I thought, okay, he's about to go for it here. He's going to start digging into me as a coach and find out what I'm about. And instead he said, tell me about your family. And, yeah, my wife too. And, oh yeah, me too, with our kids. And so there was a personal touch there that I really appreciated.
What's your basic philosophy about offense?
Well, I think identity is a huge thing, whether you're talking about a person. There are things that if somebody said, hey, describe Tauscher to me, somebody tell me about Mark, what's he all about? And they would start talking about your personality and who you are. The same thing should be true of an organization, a company, a church, or an offense. And so I think it's a great question to start with. I'd like to say that if people watched us, they would see a tough physical brand of football that is balanced in a number of different ways. And balance can mean a lot of different things. It can mean the difference between run pass, running inside versus running on the perimeter, short to intermediate passing game versus the vertical passing game. But to me, more than anything, it's just maintaining an unpredictability. If the defense feels like we might do any number of things in any situation, then I feel like we've maintained the advantage that the offense should have, right? So that means if it's 3rd and 10 and we run the football, then we're taking the game back into our hands in terms of being unpredictable. If it's 4th and 1 and we'll actually throw the ball deep, then again, it gives us the opportunity, I think, for the best success possible. So when I talk about balance, that's what I talk about. And so, I don't want receivers to feel like, hey, this guy's an O-line guy and all we're going to do is run the football. I want them to be really excited about what we're going to do in the throw game too. And, if you're good, one of the things I always say, and I'm sure you feel this way too, if you can run the football, then you can do anything. Mm-hmm. If you can run the football, then everything else is going to work. If you can't run the football, then you become one-dimensional. And so I think that's where it starts, is running the football and establishing an identity that is based on that and a rugged mentality about how you're going to do it. Once you establish that, then the vertical passing game comes to life, and then receivers will get excited about that.
Not getting into all the weeds of it, but tight ends, fullback, is it going to be more under center? How do you view, I know you just got here, but just kind of your initial philosophy on that?
I think it depends on your personnel, what those guys do best. There have been times in the last few years where we've been under center a fair amount, and then there have been times where we weren't under center much at all. And that depends on a number of factors, more than anything the quarterback and what he's most comfortable doing. And I think there are a lot of advantages to getting under center, but you give away some things as well. Take away some of the things that might be threats otherwise. 12 personnel, yes. 13 personnel, yes. 10 personnel, yes. I don't like to use the term pro style because that carries with it a certain mindset, just like air raid or spread does. I would say we're an NFL style offense. We play like most NFL teams do. And so if you watch Sunday football, we will look more like that than what we will probably most college teams look like. And so that means a variety in terms of personnel groups, a variety in formations, a lot of presentation, pre-snap shift and motion that hopefully provides an advantage for us.
And you've had a little bit, just your history, Andy Reid, Mike Sherman, who I have a deep appreciation for. You're an O-line guy, and this is a school that takes a lot of pride in its offensive line. What have you kind of learned a little bit about from the offensive line part, and then how much of that, I'm assuming, is going to be a key piece to how you do implement your offense?
Well, hopefully that's where everything starts. And what I always tell our linemen is, you're the key to all this working. And most coordinators, most play callers, especially in the college game, and this is a recruiting ploy that works with offensive linemen, right? But most of those guys think of you as an afterthought, just let me do my thing with all the skill guys and, get the ball to our playmakers in space, and you guys just don't screw it up. And I look at it just the opposite. Whatever we can do up front will allow us to have success. And the ability for those guys to do their job gives everybody else a chance to do theirs. And, I've moved a bunch of times in this profession, and I think about it like this often. When a moving company, typically a school will move our family for us. And so a moving company comes in and, there's people everywhere doing all kinds of stuff. And then at some point, somebody's got to move the couch or somebody's got to move the refrigerator, right? And so, hey, John, Jimmy, come here. No, y'all got to move this, because there's only 2 guys in the moving crew who are qualified to do that thing, right? To do the heavy lifting. And there's only 2 guys who can do that. All the other guys can do a lot of other things, and those guys could do those things too, but they have a special skill set that allows them to do something different. And I think that's what it's like for the offensive lineman.
And before we let you go, just your excitement level about what this opportunity for you and kind of moving this offense forward into the future. What do you have to say to fans about what to expect to see when we line up both in the spring and then next fall?
I've just over the years, I've watched this team and seen the way that it's played, and have just admired it from afar. And there are a lot of places that I think you can go and probably have success doing any number of things on offense or defense, and just sort of arbitrarily pick a system. And then there are some places where you go, yeah, that kind of fits that place, And so when I started talking with guys about this job, immediately there was, a sort of connection, a sort of fit down deep inside me that said, yeah, that's something I could get excited about. And so I think, they'll be excited, fans, everybody, players, probably more than any, I hope, about playing a rugged style of football that's going to give us an opportunity to score a bunch of points and win a lot of games.
Well, we're excited. Looking forward to kind of seeing how this thing all unfolds. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.